The Iowa community is in shock after members of a local family are accused of abusing one of their own to the point of near death. Reporter Todd Magel is in Zering, Iowa, and has more on the reaction to the sickening allegations.
We're on the south edge of Zering. We knocked on the door at the house here where the alleged abuse occurred. Nobody answered. Most of the family was sent to jail.
I didn't know who they were, but I was just totally shocked and saddened.
Robin Johnson is just hearing gruesome details about what happened in this house during the past year. Residents Gary and Danielle Graham and Aaron Williams are each charged with first-degree kidnapping and willful injury. Another 16-year-old family member also faces the same charges. The Story County Sheriff's Office says a family member was taken to the hospital in late January. He was in an altered state and incoherent, suffering life-threatening injuries from abuse that includes a brain bleed, rib fractures, bruising, and severe malnourishment. He weighed only 70 pounds. Court records show the mom, Danielle Graham, told officers the victim left the house when he was 18 and had been homeless. The victim showed up to their house in a semi-conscious state. That's when the family took him to the hospital.
It's hard to fathom how anybody could treat any human being the way our victim had been treated, let alone their own family members. The psychology of that is probably out of my realm to expand on, but it certainly is hard to comprehend for a lot of us.
Court documents show the victim had been handcuffed and shackled to a bed in the house. They also show text messages from Gary to Aaron saying, quote, "Why do you put up with it? Just start punching the blank out of him."
Sickening. It was, just makes you sick.
The suspects face kidnapping charges, and they were sent to jail on $1 million bond.